Hi there. Let's do another fun watercolor. Today we are going to create this masterpiece. How fun. You know, springtime's here, so let's do some fun sunflowers, right? I've got my Master's Touch just mixed media pad that I'm using, but you can use any watercolor paper or even cardstock paper is fine. I've got my Mozart watercolor panel, which I love, lots of fun colors. My travel brushes, some water, and a napkin. Let's go. Well, let's get started. All right, we're going to pick up some yummy reds and burgundies, and we are just going to start and dot in no particular pattern around one edge to create the center of the first sunflower that we saw. And again, no particular pattern, just laying down some colors.
Just flowers.
Yes, it's springtime here in South Texas, and this is our favorite time of year. All the flowers are out, the bluebonnets, sunflowers. Okay, I'm going to add into this some really pretty yellows and get some, just for some variation, and that will bring some depth into that center. Okay. So I don't like things perfect, and I think it looks better when it's not, because nothing in nature is actually super perfect. Now we're going to start with our the petals, and one thing that we want to do in creating a sunflower is we want the tips to be fairly pointed. So really it works best if you get a paintbrush that has a good decent point on it. And then the other thing is, just like in anything in nature, nothing is perfect, and it looks better, in my opinion, if you vary the shades of the petals, because really and truly that's how it is in nature. The other thing with making a sunflower is it's always great to keep a little bit of space in between, some white space, so that because that's really what an actual sunflower looks like. There's some white space, some negative space in there, and so I'm going off the edge of the paper here. This is a perforated, so and if there's something you don't like, you can always come in and just blot up a little bit of that color. That one seeped over there. The other thing is, it looks best, I believe, if not every petal is the same. You want some variations. This one I'm going to just hide up underneath this other one, and it's going to come out here and be a little shorter. So you can see how that's peeking out from underneath, and that's how it is in real life. So I'm adding in some browns and different colors into the mix so that you would get those variations and not everything is looking exactly the same, because again, you know, that's not true life. We'll tuck another one underneath here. We'll go with a little bit brighter yellow underneath. And I'm going to tuck this one way underneath. There we go. And you want them to connect down to the center. And you want the ends to have somewhat of a tip. So it's really quite easy. There's nothing magical or mysterious mysterious, there you go. Not a mistress, oh Lord, no.
Oh dear.
Oh, we've gone on to a different topic. This is an art channel. Okay, I lost it there. Alrighty, so this one is kind of a fatter. So see, varying the different widths, the different shapes, all of that creates more of a natural looking piece, in my opinion. And I'm going to tuck this one back under here, and we'll just make it come off the page. Okay, so there is flower number 1. Easy peasy, right? So let's move on to our second one, and this one's going to be a much bigger one. It's going to be the dominant feature. I'm going to put this underneath because I get real messy and I don't like messing up my other pages. I've done that many a times.
That's a good idea.
And it's really annoying when you go to do the next page and it's like, ah, I've got that full of all these other colors. So that just helps protect the page underneath. So this one is going to be the predominant focus. And I'm going to add in the yellow, give it some of that depth. I love how that looks. I love that variation of color. It really makes it feel much more lifelike, in my opinion. So these are going to be large, much larger petals and longer. And again, if you don't have a pointed brush, I really recommend that you go get one, because you can create so many different effects with a pointed brush that you never could with a flat brush. They are totally designed for very different effects. So consider that if you don't have one. Get out. You can, heck, they're so cheap. You don't have to have a super expensive round brush. I mean, just a decent one from, you know, your dollar store even. Just so long as it's got some sort of a point on the end. You don't have to spend $20 on a brush. A lot of them come in packs, and that's a great way for a beginner set, is just getting a pack of them. And they come in different widths, just depending on what kind of effect that you're going for. I'm going to pull some of that color out of there. I want to get down. I'm really bad about just using my palette to mix in instead of mixing outside of my palette. I don't know. It's a thing.
It's okay. It's all right.
Yeah, it's a thing. Every one of us has our little things that we know we probably shouldn't do, but it's like, ah. Oh, I'm loving see how the variation just really makes it pop and makes it feel so much more lifelike. And you can create much more watered down versions by just using less pigment. We'll try that here. I'm going to just try to use a lot less pigment and a lot more water. Oh, that didn't really work. Here we go.
What happens when you buy those hyper-pigmented palettes?
Yeah. Okay, now we're getting some translucency here. So see how much more translucent that is? And it just creates a nice, a softer look. And tucking some back underneath, like I said. Add some little bit of a stronger color on that side there.
I love how the center is bleeding into the petals.
I
That's
know,
wonderful.
I do. Yeah, it really creates a really fun, you know, and The other thing is with a sunflower, you don't want all your points going the same direction. Try to mix it up. Some points coming, you know, up this way and curving, some straighter, some curving the other direction. We'll curve this one this way, just so I can show you kind of what I mean. So see what I'm saying? Curving that way. Much more relaxed. So now that you have the gist of it, I'm going to be quiet and we're going to probably speed this up a little bit. And you can just paint and have some fun. Okay, so now this is dry. You can take a hairdryer and dry it. You can let it dry naturally, whatever works for you. I did want to mention that if you don't have a large watercolor palette, I've got several different options of yellows and different browns, and I didn't have to mix anything, but you can certainly just take one yellow and mix in varying amounts of browns, and you can come up with lots of different yellows. You can also, like I said, add more water to dilute out those colors, so you know, you can achieve the very same thing. So I'm going to take a this is just a marker pen. It is not water soluble, but I'm not going to add any more water to this. I do like these. This is a 0.35, and I'm going to just do some outlining. You can use any marker pen that you have, or a ballpoint pen even. And the one thing when you're doing this, if you're trying to remember create that forward petal look, be sure you don't that you follow the lines that are on your project on the petals. So see how this one comes up and over that petal. Same with this one. So I just like going over my stuff twice because I don't like it to look perfect. I like it to look a little bit messy because I think that just suits my kind of style. I do love how it bled in there some. If I were to go back and do it again, I think I would let it bleed more. I think it adds a really beautiful contrast there, or you know, just effect. I love that. And then I'm just going to come around here and just kind of make a jagged edge, because it is jagged, and I'm just making it a little extra jagged. I am going to go ahead and put in a couple of leaf veins there down the center. And this is kind of a really wonky looking leaf, but that's okay. It kind of looks, I don't know what.
Nature's leaves are wonky too. That's all right.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, ooh, I'm liking the way this is looking. It's amazing how just adding a little bit of a contrast, you don't have to use a marker pen. You could use a ballpoint pen, you could use a Sharpie marker. You could use a darker green and like a brown around it. That would be pretty. You know, there's so many different options, but I do think it has a different look when you outline. Some people like the really soft muted and just want the whole thing soft and muted, and I think for some projects I think that's very I'm the same way. I like that, but for this one I just really wanted some of these leaves and stuff to pop out and just stand alone. And again, I'm just squiggling around the edge. And then I'm going to take and I am just going to be dotting. Just lots of dots on this. And you could do this with black watercolor, since this is totally dry. It won't create quite this look, but you could get a similar look with just black dots. So I'm doing it more concentrated on the edge, and then I'm going to come out and get further apart and to where there's just almost none. Okay? And I'm going to do that same thing over on this little guy. And then out further to where there's almost none.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, I love it. The thing I like about this one, my original one, I put a scripture verse over the top. You can leave it as is. You can write an inspirational message. What should we write on it, Becca?
You know, I'm feeling very hello spring.
Let's
right
put
now.
that.
Okay.
I love that. And I'm just going to do it with this real fine marker. I'm probably going to have to go back over it with something. And of course there's my white.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I want to do some white, but I might hold off. Let's see. Let me use this. This is a Tombow. All right, we're just going to put hello spring, and this is good and dry. Yes. I'm going to just do really fine, elongated, fine lined. So there's the hello. Ooh, I already love it. And then let's just do spring a bit bigger.
I love those long, thin letters.
I know. So hello spring. It is that. And I know we all are more cooped up than we want to be, but get outside, get some fresh air, get some vitamin D, and enjoy having fun making art. Thanks so much. Hey, but while I'm at it, give us a thumbs up, would you? Give us a thumbs up. Put in a comment. We want to hear from you. Have a great day.